Hello everyone, it's Nancy Amato, the Be More Stamper, coming to you today to teach you how to make this beautiful card with the brand new Timeless Arrangements bundle that will be available in the 2023 to 2024 annual catalog from Stampin' Up! I have these catalogs in-house now. I can show you the front cover. That is the front cover. So if you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator that you work with and you would like a new catalog, please comment below and I will reach out to you and get your address and be happy to send one of these to you in the mail. If you are in the US, I should preface that I can only send catalogs and sell products in the United States. So here is what we are going to make today. And I just wanted to show you my other online channels there. So Facebook and Instagram, Pinterest, and you are right here on YouTube. So this is also my shopping website here, nancyamato.stampinup.net. Alrighty, let's get started here. We are going to make this beautiful card today using some of the new and returning colors that will be found in the 2023 to 2024 annual catalog. I just love this card. It is just so bright and cheery. So here are the supplies we will need. We will need some of the gold Simply Elegant trim. Okay, that'll be the last thing we do. We're going to need our new Bubble Bath ink to stamp the You Make Me Smile on our greeting. Okay, so I have that all ready to go over here. Let me bring in my cheat sheet here so that I remember everything. We will need a piece of Lemon Lolly. That's one of our new colors. Cardstock, and that's going to be 8.5 by 5.5, and we're going to score and fold it right there in the middle at 4 1/4. This is going to be our card base. Alrighty. Then we will need 2 pieces of basic white, and they are cut the same measurement. They are going to be 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, that's going to be for this outside layer and then the inside layer in the card. We will need a piece of Bubble Bath cardstock, and that's going to be cut at 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. This is going to be the backing layer for our piece of Designer Series paper from the Bright and Beautiful 6x6 Designer Series paper. That is also a new Designer Series paper that is coming in the new annual catalog beginning May the 2nd. This will be cut at 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. Okay, so that's how that is going to layer together. We're also going to use the little crosshatch pattern of the Basics 3D embossing folders. These are currently out of stock as of April the 16th, but they are due back in May the 1st. So fingers crossed that they get back in quickly because I love, love, love these embossing folders. So we're going to use that, and we already went over the trim. So I think we covered everything on my little cheat sheet here. So first thing, we are also going to need pieces of cardstock to do all of our die cutting. So we will need a piece of basic white. We're going to need some Bubble Bath, Lemon Lolly, Berry Burst is coming back, and Lost Lagoon. Okay, so let's get all of our die cutting done first. So let's move all of these over. I'm going to bring in my big Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Oops. Uh-oh, just dropped a die. Let's find that. Here it is. All right, let me move all of these over here. Make room for the die cutting machine. So for the die cutting, we will need our base plate number 1, okay, and our adapter plate number 2, and then we will need 2 cutting plates. So one is right there, they are number 3. One is right there. We are gonna load this platform up with a bunch of dies and a bunch of paper. And we can get as much done at one time as possible. Okay, so there's that one. Let's put this one right here. And you'll note I like to run these long dies lengthwise through the machine. It just works out a lot better than if you try to run them horizontally. The pressure is more even throughout the cranking if you have them going lengthwise. All right, we'll have to do our Lost Lagoon separately, but let's crank all of these through. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna need to stand up for this one. There we go. Alrighty. Come on, guy. I'm usually not die cutting sideways like that. I think that was my problem. I think I'm gonna keep my machine this way. Okay, so let's just put those on our table here. Let's bring in our Lost Lagoon and the leaves, and let's run that through, okay? There we go. This is how I usually die cut. Alrighty. So I'm just gonna put that through again, just so you can see it a little bit better. Alrighty. So here is one of our die cuts. Here is our other one. Okay, so I'm just going to set these to the side. Here is our rectangle that we're going to stamp on. So we will need to run the berry burst through once again. We're going to need to run, I'm going to grab my take your pick tool here, and just kind of loosen this up. You can see these little teeny tiny holes here. They are just like the little release points for the die. There we are. Now I can pull those leaves out. Look how gorgeous that is. My goodness. Okay, so we can put this right down here. Let's pull the bubble bath. No, yes, bubble bath. I keep calling it bubble gum, and then every time I say the right thing, I keep correcting myself when actually I am right. So this is bubble bath. This is this new light pink color, which is gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay, we're gonna set that down. So let's bring in our bubble bath again. Let's lay that right there. And then that die will fit right here. How did I measure that? Let's see. Let's do it. I know I measured it so we would have enough room. Okay, that will work right there. Okay, and let's pull out the last one. This is the Lemon Lolly, and I love yellow, so I am all about this color. It is gorgeous. It's a nice soft yellow. Okay, so we're gonna just pull that out, put our paper back down again, and I figured out that I could fit 2 of these on here as well. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, let's put our top plate on once again. And we can run all of these through at the same time. There we go. Okay, and I'm just going to reverse it just so you can see them coming back out. Alrighty. So we are finished our die cutting. We need to do our embossing. So for that, we will just need plate 1. Okay. And let's grab our embossing folder right here. Like I said, these will be back in on May the 1st. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. So I'm just gonna open this up, put this right inside here, okay? And I like lining up that edge with that bottom line there. We always wanna put it in the machine with the hinge side first. And then we're just going to cover that up with plate number 4. So just the platform number 1, the embossing folder, because it's a thick one, the paper inside, and then plate number 4. So here we go. Alrighty, now we can put this away. We are finished with this bad boy. Alrighty, we can sit that down on the floor next to me. And let's pour that out. So we are all finished prepping all of our pieces. Okay, so let's put our embossed piece of paper right over here. Let's get out the rest of our die cuts here. Put that in recycling. And put that in recycling. I have the most beautiful recycling on the whole street. And I always know that in case the trash can happens to blow over, our recycling can happens to blow over before the truck comes. It is like, oh my goodness, what does this woman do? She's got so much pretty paper. So it is a little funny. Everybody else just has newspapers, and in front of my house, if my can blows over before they get to it, it's like, oh my gosh, it's like a rainbow over there. So there we are. Okie dokies. So I can just push this out. This Take Your Pick tool is a really handy tool as well to have for releasing the paper from die cuts or picking up little teeny tiny embellishments. I have to say I have a little bit of neuropathy in my fingers, so it is just the best thing ever for me. I couldn't live without it. So here we go. And then let's just get our lemon lolly out of the die here. Now I suppose I probably could have used some little pieces of waxed paper in between the die and the cardstock, and they may have popped out a little bit easier, but honestly, they're not all that difficult to get out. And look how beautiful they are. Okay, so I'm gonna move all of these dies over here to the side to get them out of the way. Okay, so what you see, we have one of each of these beautiful die cuts. Okay, so we are going to now, let me bring the sample back in. We are gonna build this beautiful little embellishment right here, okay, using these die cuts. So let's bring in a silicone mat. It's very helpful because glue will not stick to it. It is perfect. And we're just gonna do both of these at the same time. Alrighty, so the first one, the bottom, is going to be our Lost Lagoon. We're gonna just use some of our multi-purpose liquid glue right here. We're just gonna put a thin line right there in the center, okay? And I'm trying to remember the order I did this. Okay, I think I put the Berry Burst on top of this first. So now I just line that up, push it down and give it a second, okay? I'm gonna do the same thing over here. Line that up and push that down. Give it a second to grab. Alrighty. Next color we're going to do is the bubble bath. So we're doing the same process again. We're going to just put a little line of glue and then lay this right on top. And you can see how these images, these die cuts are in different parts of this embellishment. So you can see how as they layer, it really becomes really nice and pretty. Okay, last one is our lemon lolly. We're gonna do the same thing. Put just a little line of our liquid glue right there. And now we're going to put our little berry sprig or eucalyptus or whatever it's supposed to be. All right, we're gonna put that on top. Okay, there we go. So you can see we have both of these done, and when we put them together, this is what they're going to look like. Oh my gosh, isn't that pretty? Okay, so let's let these dry a quick second. Oops, and I see just a few little pieces here in the Berry Burst. Just the centers of the flowers of a couple of them. I need it to just poke out, okay? All right, let's get our stamping done. I am just gonna put this over here to the side. Let's bring in our greeting. And this says, "You make me smile." And I am going to, let's see, do I have a foam mat handy? I thought I did, because I usually like to use my foam mat when I am using photopolymers. Yep, here it is. It was just underneath a pile of stuff. Imagine that. Imagine that. Okay, here's Bubble Bath. It is a really light pink. So we are going to just ink up our stamp just by tapping it gently on the ink pad here. And because this is photopolymer, I can see right through the clear block and the stamp to line that up just how I want it. Now I know this is a light pink color, so it may be a little bit difficult. Whoa, it may be a little bit difficult for you to see, but there is the greeting right there. I am recording this video, and usually I have, when I do a Facebook Live, I have my laptop over here and I can kind of see what I'm doing. So this is something new for me. Hopefully, I am getting everything in the frame. We will see, correct? We'll figure that out in a little bit. Alrighty, so we have our greeting right there. Let's bring our silicone craft sheet back in. And this is what we want to do. I'm gonna just tilt this a little bit. We want to make sure that we have these beautiful floral and leaf images right here. So I am going to layer the Berry Burst on top of the leaves, okay, over this side, and then the Berry Burst on top of the leaves right here. And I am going to put this just like that and see what this looks like when I lay the greeting on top. I think I could actually have these a little bit further apart, so I'm just gonna slide that up just a skosh. Okay, so we have those bars kind of in a parallel look there. Alrighty, I like that better. Okay. So let's keep that straight, Nance. All right, there we go. Now we're gonna do the same thing again. We're just gonna put a line of our liquid glue, multi-purpose liquid glue, right there. Let me make these even. Okay. All right, that is looking pretty good. And then we're just gonna take our greeting, put it right on top. And because we're using the liquid glue, you can see it gives me a little wiggle room, wiggle time there. Now we can push that down, okay? And now that whole element is set. It is done, and it is beautiful. Alrighty. Now, all we need to do now is put this on the card and build our card front. So, while I have this, I am going to just use some dimensionals on the back of here to pop this up from my card front. And let's see, it looks like I'm running out on this particular sheet, but always make sure you just snip in from your sides and use all these gorgeous little edge pieces as well. Actually, these edge pieces work so nicely on that little bar, don't they? So there we go. All right, so I have them all ready. Let me put those away real fast. All right, let's bring in our card base once again. And then here is our basic white that we ran through with the embossing folder. So this is going to be flat onto our card base. So I'm just gonna add this on. There we go. A little bit of liquid glue. And I have a 1/4 inch difference in the size of these two pieces of paper, so that leaves a nice little border all the way around. Okay, so let's slide that over. Let's bring in our bubble bath and our designer series paper. This is going to get layered onto the bubble bath. I love the polka dot pattern too on the back. There we go. This designer series paper will be in the new annual catalog, and it comes as a 6x6 pack. And it actually it coordinates with the beautiful balloons. I had to look next to me. I have a couple new bundles here to play with. So it actually coordinates with the beautiful balloons, but I love the way the bubble bath and the lemon lolly play well together, don't you? It reminds me of spring. Alrighty, so this is the panel that we are going to put our greeting on. So let's just use our Take Your Pick tool again and remove all of those backings from the dimensionals. There we go. Oops. Come on, little guy. And one more. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna sit this right here in the center. And you're just eyeballing it, okay? Then you're gonna push that down to stick that. Now this panel is also going to be popped up with dimensionals. So once again, we are gonna use those edge pieces because they do not need to go to waste, right? Just snip in there and then pull those off. And let's just put that corner one down there. Okay, and again, using the Take Your Pick tool, best $10 I ever spent. I can just pull off the little paper backings and then drop them right there in my can. And now this is going to go right on the front of the card, okay? I love, love, love these colors together. Oh my goodness. And the berry burst just gives it, you know, a little bit of an accent. All right, let's actually put our white panel on the inside there. And I'm just gonna use my liquid glue once again. Just do a little thin line around all four sides, that's all you need. Okay. And again, this piece is cut 1/4 inch smaller all the way around, so we have that nice border. Oh my goodness, it looks like I pulled my bow there with my other flowers. Alrighty, so the last thing we need to do is just make our bunny ear bow. So I'm gonna use, because I'm using yellow, the Lemon Lolly, I am going to use the gold trim that is in the Simply Elegant trim pack. You do get gold and silver in one pack, and this is carrying over into the new annual catalog, so I'm very happy about that. So I'm just leaving it attached to the spool, and I'm going to make a loop and about 3 inches and another loop, cross those loops. Easier said than done. This trim is like having a mind of its own, okay? So cross those loops in the middle, push the loop into the hole that you make with that little 3 inches that you had left over there. Okay, and then you can pull your bow to whatever size you want by adjusting the loops. Okay, like that. And then you can snip it right off of the spool. Now with this, I just like to do this little teeny tiny detail here where I knot the ends. I mean, it's not going to fray if you do not knot them, but I just like the way it looks. It just looks finished off to me. So there we go. We're just doing a little single knot there, pulling that tight. Okay. Oops. My goodness, my fingers are gluey. They are all sticky, aren't they? And then just another little single knot on the end of this side right here. Okay. And here is our little bow. So cute. And it is ready to go right down here in this corner. So let me get my glue dots. And again, I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool. Let's find my next glue dot on here. It is right there. Because this is just a really thin little trim, I am just sort of balling up the glue dot onto its wax paper because I don't need the whole width of it. So right now I have this right here, and it's kind of the shape or the size of one of our small rhinestones now that I have sort of balled it up there. And now what I'm gonna do is push this bow right into there, push that knot right in, and you can see I can still kind of adjust it. And now I'm gonna just trim off that little excess there, right below those little single knots that I made. There we go. I need to get this guy to lay down a little bit. He's fighting me because I'm making a video, right? Alrighty, so there you go. This is just how easy it is to use this beautiful new suite. It is called Timeless Arrangements, Stamps and the Dies that will be available beginning May the 2nd for customers. And I do have a little cheat sheet here that I made to show you all of the dies. Now, we used these 4, okay, to build our little floral embellishments there. There are also these single dies that coordinate. So here's another one with berries or eucalyptus or whatever it is. Okay, here's this one right here. And that could even be clover. I think that looks like shamrocks as well. Okay, here is the flower, the single flower, and then here is the leaf. Okay, today we used this rectangle, but there is also a narrow rectangle and then a wider rectangle, and all of these greetings are part of the stamp set as well. Plus you have stamps that coordinate with the berries and then dies that will cut them out. and stamps for these flowers and leaves that will also cut out that shape as well. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'm trying to learn new things. So please comment below if you liked this video and share it with your friends. And I will be back for another video pretty soon right here on my YouTube channel. So thanks so much. I appreciate it. Take care. Bye-bye.